Hi guys, so today is technically day 4 of Nanowrimo. I haven't done one of these vlogs in years, I don't think, or maybe or months, I don't know, maybe I tried it and then I just never actually continued. Um, but I, yeah, so last night was the first time that I'd done Nanowrimo in a long time, probably since before I started at my full-time job and in a school last year or the year before. And I think it's mainly just because of the commitments. Like, I have a full-time job and it's easier to write in the holidays, but during term time it's just like it's not that easy because I have freelance work, as soon like editing work. As soon as I come home from work I go straight to my editing projects and I get a little bit done before bed or before dinner, all that. But it's really hard to like get myself in the mental space to actually work on my own stuff. So what I try to do generally is to do as much as I can on the weekends. So I can write like or edit a lot of words if I really want to, but I'm really in the mindset. Um, so like last night I decided to try it out for my second book, Songbird Air, which is the sequel to my first published book, Still Princess. It's going to be a pirate book. There'll be, just like in book one, there'll be mermaids, sirens, pirates, sea monsters, there's a sea dragon. So the book is actually written and I need to rewrite it, so or edit it. So this is actually me being an NaNoWriMo rebel this year, um, because I want to get this book published, yeah, at some point next year. So I've already finished my first draft. I think I finished it a couple of weeks ago. So I've been leaving it for a little while. So I think this is the perfect timing to actually get some of it done. So it's really good. So I'm just, my plan is to just get as much done and use it to get as much of this rewrite done as I can for my second draft. So this is the fun part. I love the second draft. I don't know why. I think it's just that you get to go back through and read over the book, the earlier parts of the book that you enjoyed writing that you haven't read in a while, because you get so into writing the first draft like towards the end of the book and you forget. I actually really like that, and I really struggle generally with the start of writing new books, like the first few chapters, and I really struggled to get them right because they're so I think they're just really difficult because you have to capture your um story like in as succinct a way as possible, in a way that drags the reader straight in so they continue reading for the rest of the book. And this is the kind of like, in an action film, this is like the action at the beginning of the story sort of thing, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's really good. It's just difficult to get right, but I'm really happy, strangely enough, with the first few chapters of this book, like the story, the way it's going. I was really struggling to like rewrite the story part. Like there's a lot of descriptions and stuff that need to be added in, which I was trying to do last night, but I was struggling. um, but yeah, the story so far, I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna try and, because I have a thing, I have to keep thinking about it over time because I get more ideas like for edits. So I'm gonna be going on a walk with my friend today, I think. So, or maybe I'll get some ideas then, because I always find ideas when I go on a nice walk through the woods. Although the weather is a bit crappy today, so I'm not sure if we'll be doing that, but we'll find out. So yeah, this is my first like nano vlog in forever, or not even a vlog, maybe a chatty video about NaNoWriMo. I used to do these videos all the time, like every single month that Nano was happening, I would try and do it and vlog it, and I just don't do it anymore because of my like work. But I think if I just try and do it the way that I know I can, then even if I don't get to 50k, like I'm still proud of the fact that I'm working on my second draft and I'm getting it done. So, and I'm gonna try not to do developmental editing to my editor this time, because I've done that for the first two books I published, which are Still Princess and The Girl Behind the Glass. They're both on Amazon if you want to check them out. But I'm gonna try and just do copy editing for her because it's less expensive. But that means that and it is my third book now, so like gonna be my third published book, so I like to think that I kind of know what I'm doing enough now to just to have a copy edit, because she did provide really invaluable feedback for my first two books that I published, and they have really given me lots of ideas to spring off and like do my things for my rewrite. But I don't think I quite need it this time, so we'll see. I'm quite proud of my book and the plot and everything, but I do know what I need to rewrite and what needs to be improved already, so hopefully I can go off my own judgment a bit more with the story and the structure and things like that this time. But a lot of that came from the feedback from book one, so because book two actually has a lot of plot that was going to go into the end of book one, when book one was a mess, before it was sent to my editor, and she said that it's really enjoyable, but she said that all of these parts of the sirens and things were added into, like, rushed in at the end. So instead of that, I'm writing a whole new second book just on this siren part of the story. So each of the 4 books will be going off into different, like, characters' adventures a little bit. So that's the plan. So this one is sirens, book 3 is mermaids, and book 4 I'm not quite sure yet, but it kind of comes the more as I write books, so I'm sure I'll understand where I'm going to go with that one once I'm in writing book 3. But I do have a vague idea of what I want to do, but I just want to make sure I do it right, so, but we will see. But yeah, that's the plan for NaNoWriMo. I probably, I might vlog this later or I might not, but I'll see, it depends because the weather's a bit naff. I was going to go for a walk and do a little woodland talk to you and see how it goes, but it is only 8 AM, but it is pouring with rain at the minute. I wasn't going to wake up this early on a Saturday, but my partner woke up and then that was it. I woke up, so now I'm awake. So weekends are usually my lie-in because I get up at like 5 AM during the week, so I try and get up at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday or a Sunday just to do my freelance work, and now to do nano because I do try and do a little bit of writing on the weekends as well, as much as I can. But yeah, so that is the plan. Writing book 2, Songbird Air, 2 different adventures. One's a little bit futuristic, just like book 1, and one is a siren and mermaid adventure, also just like book 1, but with different characters, a different adventure, and yeah, so it'll be along the same lines of book 1, but a whole new story in its own right is what I'm planning. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. Let me get you, baby. Is he man enough? You deserve your love. When he said good, could he be the one? Won't you run back to me? Come back for me, run. Hi guys, so it's now 8 minutes past 10 and I have written pages and pages and it feels awesome. Yeah. Not sure how many words it is because I still need to type it up, but because I've been up early, I do need to take a little break, and I don't know if I want to go for a walk or just get some food or go to the shop or what. I don't know. I feel like I need to do something, so have a little break and then get back to it. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I do have some freelance work there to get done later on, so I might have a little break between the freelance project and the writing. But I will of course try to update as much as I can now that I'm doing nano vlogs again. And yeah, if I do meet up with my friend, I'll try and see how that goes and then maybe talk about it in my later video. But yeah, thanks guys. Hi guys, so it's now nearly 3 PM. I was doing my writing this morning and I went out for a little bit and then came back and typed up, and I got 2,217 words written. I still want to do another scene in this character's chapters, but I'm really proud of what I've written. It was basically like a little scene between my main character and the love interest from book one. So in book one, there is kind of like the introduction of a romance, but it didn't really like become a romance. But it will be in this book, so I'm writing that slowly. So there was like a ballroom scene where they're like flirting, and she's a robot of gynoids, so she doesn't really understand completely like all emotions and a lot of things, and she can be quite naive, which is what a lot of her friends will like tease her about because they're all human friends and she doesn't always understand everything. But she is generally quite smart, but she has her moments, and this was one of her moments where this prince character that she had the love interest he kind of became the love interest at the end of the book, of the first book. Um, he said that he wanted to court her, and she freaked out because she was like, "What does that mean?" So she ended up being really confused for the rest of the chapter, and then as soon as they were going to start talking about it, um, she was in the middle of a dance with him, and then she ended up getting like whisked away by because the music changed and they had to change partners, and she was like had to dance with all these other nobles. She's the princess, but she's not always been the princess there. Like there's this whole thing in book one where you learn how she ends up at the palace, and that she was actually with like a travelling community of humans, because humans are seen as less than the bots and the robots and things, but the world and the queen has changed since then, but Silver is still Silver and she's still a little bit naive at times, although she has learned like human emotion and she does. But I like having that side of her there because it shows, you know, she's caring. It shows like her more as a character. She doesn't have to understand everything because she wouldn't naturally understand everything. It wouldn't be realistic if she did. So, but I'm really happy with how that went. So she had this scene where she wanted to talk to him about it, and then she got whisked away. He got whisked away, and this is where she's like actually slowly like realizing that she has feelings for this person, and she had like a proposal from him at the end of the first book, but now he's decided let's court instead of aligning our kingdoms together. Um, so yeah, so there's not really like a heavy romance in my books, but my series will probably will have more romance as obviously as the books go on. So I was really happy with that. And then in the scene after that, she goes off to her friends in the palace, and she's asking them like, "What does this mean?" And they're all laughing at her because they're like, "Silver, you should know this." Um, but it's I'm hoping it's done in a good way. Like it kind of shows her, and they think, oh, she's just adorable, and it's like, yeah. So it's fun to write. So um, I'm really enjoying how it's going so far. I am just editing it in a minute, and I can't believe I'm already 24% into Nanowrimo, and I only started yesterday. But that's just from editing, really, the opening chapters. So this is 24%, which is 12,133 words. So, not too far off, which is pretty cool. So I won't be probably able to write during the week, so I will just have to make the most of my weekends, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. There were so many times in the holidays I didn't really get to write that much because I was so busy with freelance work. And I always prioritise my freelance work, of course, because it's not mine, it's someone else is relying on me for the work. So I always put that first, and then I try and get my stuff done afterwards. But today I'm kind of doing it the other way around, so that I will do my freelancing later. But I'm really happy with how it's going so far. So yeah, we'll carry on. I'm off out for a little walk with my friend later in a bit. She's coming in about half an hour, so we'll go around for a walk around the lake. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to it later on.
Bitch, you know I'm sexy. Don't call, just text me. Bitches slow can't get on my speed. They stare cause they know I'm the ITGIRL. You know I am that girl.
today is Sunday. It is the weekend. I got quite a lot done yesterday, and I'm really proud of how much I actually completed. So today it's about 10 o'clock this morning. I've just done my weekly food bits for work, so that's all sorted, which is what I normally do every single Sunday morning. So that's all done, and then got ready, got dressed, put onto my eyeliner, and I don't know why. I've been doing that like today and yesterday. It just sort of helps me feel set up for the day. It gets me ready. So I've got a lot of freelancing to catch up on today because yesterday I didn't do any. But it was nice to have that day to just spend writing in because that's the first day in a long time that I've actually just done that without any interruptions. Just on a weekend day where I've got the flat to myself. I can just sit and chill out. I went out with my friend for a little bit as well, so I'll have put the clip in there. So we went to a little garden centre, which is actually where my partner works, but he works in the works in there. But there's like they always have lots of Christmassy things going on, and my friend wanted to see the Christmas stuff, so we went in there and had a little browse. She also wanted to go and look at the fish. When we were in there, I said, "Oh, do you want to be in my video?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." So she just like poses, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I probably should have like moved or waved or something." And I said, "No, it's fine. I just kind of I like to have just a sort of like little snapshots of my day when I do like Nanowrimo vlogs because it's a bit of nostalgia because I haven't done it in a few years. And it just feels really nice. Even if I can't do it every single day, like I probably won't be able to do it on the weekdays, like once I finish work and stuff. But I will just try to do weekend ones now for this time, so that at least I've got something on there that I can show and talk about my words and stuff. So yesterday was a really good day. So I think I mentioned yesterday's video that I managed about 9,000, nearly 10,000 words. Yesterday I was actually, so that was editing, like the first 4 chapters I think of the book, the first draft. This time yesterday, I had planned out some scenes that I wanted to go in there, and I was only going to do one. I ended up doing two quite big ones throughout the day, but I didn't type them up. So I typed one of them up, and that became to about 2,000 and something. I think I did mention that in my previous video yesterday, and then in the evening, I was writing another scene, like just handwriting it, but because it got quite late, I didn't type it up yet. I thought I'll type it up today, so I will do that, and then I will obviously record the word count, and that will technically be for yesterday, I suppose. So probably about 3,000 words written yesterday, but it will end up going into today's word count. So, but I will try to do a little bit of writing today. Why am I saying yesterday? Or just a little bit of something so that I can show you where I'm at. But I think I'm probably at about 13,000 words now, because I'm assuming the word count that I got yesterday through the amount of pages was probably like 1,000 words or something, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, but it was a few pages, so, and they're like A4 size pages. But really proud of the story I wrote actually as well. I kind of like planned it before I went out, and then when I came back I just decided to just try and write it, and I wrote it, and I was pretty happy with how it went. It was these two characters, my two main characters, or my main character and love interest, going down. So they had a meeting first, and it ended up involving this big queen that's going to come into the story fairly soon. But it's kind of just brought mention of her in sooner, so I think that would be a nice like build up to what's going to happen. Because this prince didn't really know about it wasn't made clear in the story before what was going on with the prince and or like the queen, the evil queen that's going to come into it. So I'm bringing that in earlier. So he's got upset about it. He's got really frustrated. He wants to go because he knows that this evil queen in this other kingdom. It makes sense if you're a still princess, but I'm trying to explain it as much as I can without you having the context. So yeah, if he wants to go and save his sister because his twin sister, who's another bot, she's another princess. They both have wings. They're from like a kingdom that's basically based on angels, so like they have wings, but they're also robots. Like a bit like in Still Princess, you've got Elysia. Solaria is the kingdom that came before Elysia, and Solaria still had magic. And when Solaria was taken over by this evil queen, this one that's going to come into the story fairly soon, and took his sister, um, she was the one that rebuilt. So magic was taken away. She was the one that kind of copied what was going on in Solaria. So they'd had a sickness come, a bit like meningitis, where you lose your limbs, and they'd found a way to kind of like reconstruct people so that they have um, organs, like false organs, like, you know, metal hands and metal. There's a word for it, and it's just gone from my brain. But yeah, so she copied what the science work that they had already done basically, and started this whole new city and this whole new place. When magic was banned, and she ended up being trapped in this like underground cell dungeon type thing. But before that, she had built Elysia, which is where my main character ends up coming from. So this is all the backstory basically. So a lot of the stuff that Silver learns in Still Princess about the history is what she's going to be exploring in this book. So she's going to go back to well, not back, but she's going to go to Solaria, which is the place that comes before Elysia, and she's going to try and help Elijah save his sister, and that's going to be like her big plot for this book. And she's also dealing with her own stuff, like trying to become a queen of Elysia, because her grandmother that didn't raise her, she was stolen away when she was little. She's kind of taken over as queen regent because the mum was like deconstructed, basically killed, and put in underground crypts because of her cruelty. That was like the whole thing for book one. Sorry, I've probably given spoilers there, but that's the only way to explain it without explaining book two. Yeah, so Silver knows what her plan is, but it's all going to relate to that, but it's going to have its own story, if that makes sense. But she's also going to become a bit more powerful herself in this one, so she'll have more of her, like, she can be a little bit naive. I think I was saying yesterday, she can be a little bit naive and a bit adorable, but I want her to be a bit more like taking control this book, and she definitely does towards the end of the book. Lots of rewriting to do on it, but I'm really excited to keep improving it, and that's what the plan is with this rewrite. So yeah. But anyway, so in this bit that I wrote yesterday, I think I've sidetracked. Elijah, who's the prince, and Silver go down to the underground crypts, and he discovers that his parents were stolen. Their like tombs are there, but they're all empty, so the bodies are somewhere else. Which they later find out is in Solaria, with the evil queen. But yes, that's the plan. So Elijah knows that he wants to go, and he wants to go and save his sister. He's been helping Silver and Elysia for like the last few months since the end of book one, basically, to try and deal with all of the becoming a princess kind of things that she didn't know about because she wasn't raised in the palace. She was sort of found and ended up being brought there or going there herself. So yeah, so that's the plan. There is going to be a big garden scene, which is already written, where Elijah's going to say, I want to go to Solaria and save my sister. So a lot of the stuff that I wrote yesterday was to kind of come in before that, so that we have people can see that what's going to happen, that Elijah is going to choose to go, and he's going to ask Silver to come with him, and she wants to go, but she also wants to keep making sure things are secure where she is, because she's supposed to be queen in Elysia at some point, but she's sort of like learning things first. And yeah, so, and then in the same book, you've also got another character, Adelia, who's quite big in Still Princess. Was a big character that I didn't actually plan to write. So she takes on her own story in this one, and she is becoming a princess and eventually a queen. So you've got the two different stories, but they're kind of connected because you know who the characters linked to and everything by this point. So yeah, it's really good. I can't wait to actually write it, but for now I have to do my freelance work for a few hours, I've got a sample to do, not a sample, a chapter. I have a client that's been sending me stuff in like little short snippets, like a couple of chapters at a time, because it's easier for her, so she can write it while she's sending it to me. And then I also have one that's like related to Christmas, so I have to work on. So, but yeah, that is the plan for today. And then later on, I will try to do an update, if I do any more writing or typing up, or what my word count is and things like that. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If I do anything else, I will see an update, and I'll talk to you in a little while.
And I'll tell you now, she's not the princess that needs saving. She's the warrior that needs a place to rest in between battles.
Morning, guys. So it's like nearly 6 a.m, but I have to get up for work. But I didn't actually film like an outro video yesterday for the weekend, so I just wanted to say I'm really happy with how the weekend went. Last night, or yeah, most of yesterday, I was gonna do some writing. I did some freelancing in the morning, then I was gonna do writing and freelancing and then writing, and then I ended up just doing my tax stuff for my freelance business, and that always takes me hours. And then as soon as that's finished, when I just do nothing, because calculating and everything and getting the questions filled out and stuff, just, I don't know why, every time it just drains me. So I couldn't really do anything once that was finished, but I did actually type up what I'd written. So, and I got about 1,000 words, and then after that I edited a couple of chapters, which was about 900 words for one section and another 900. So technically I was about 3,000 words something for editing for yesterday. So I'm really, really happy with how that went. So I'm on about probably like 14,000 words something now. Not sure when I'm going to be able to write next, because I am got to prioritise my freelancing again when I come home from work during the week. So, but if I can do some writing, I will probably do a little video or like add it to my weekend for next weekend vloggy videos. Although next week I'm actually going to Yauk, so that will probably be in the vlog too on the Sunday with my friends, so that should be fun. But yeah, I'm really proud of how it's gone, considering I wasn't even going to do Nano, and then I ended up editing 14,000 words over a weekend. Pretty good going, I think. I'm pretty proud of myself. But yeah, thanks for watching as always, guys. I'm enjoying doing these little vlogs again. I used to do daily ones, but I don't think I could quite commit to that right now. But I think weekend ones would be good, because you get to see, because I'll probably talk about what's been going on during the week as well, so you'll still get like the full view of what's been happening. Generally I hadn't had the best week this week, anyway, so all this writing has just been really quite nice, like therapeutic, and it helped me have something to focus on after a crappy time. But yeah, thanks guys for watching as always, and I will try and film again soon.